5 criteria for good communication. Good communication connects, bad communication divides. Written and read by Bernhard Kutzler. In the following, I will analyze which criteria must be met for communication to be good and constructive. The word communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to make common. Communication is the key to togetherness, and this is essential for the survival of humanity. As I explain in my article, to survive as a species, we must work together. Imagine standing in front of a tree and looking at it. From your position, you see some of the tree, some you don't. For example, you see the side of the trunk facing you, but not the opposite side. You have a perspective on the tree. If you change your position, you see the tree differently. You see something that you didn't see from your first position. If you walk around the tree to look at it from more and more places, you will get closer to the truth of it. But you will only ever have a perspective. There are parts of the tree that you can't see, such as the roots, which clearly belong to the truth of the tree. Optical illusions demonstrate how deceptive perspectives can be. In my article, Who Can You Trust?, I show in a brief video clip how little you can trust your own eyes. You see the world as you have learned to see it. This applies to health, religion, politics, you name it. You have a perspective, a worldview, which was shaped by your parents, your schools, and the media you consumed. Most people consider their worldview to be the truth, and this is not only a problem in any communication, it can lead to fanaticism and war. In my article, When Food Becomes a Religion, I talk about my experience with it. Believing that your perspective is the truth is arrogant. Good communication requires modesty. You only have a perspective. And other people may have different perspectives which are just as worthy of consideration. I analyzed the relativity of perspectives in my article, Knowledge is Only a Perspective. Communication is useful when it inspires. Ideally, all communication partners should be able to say afterwards, "It's good we had this conversation." Inspiration can happen when someone questions your perspective. Genuine curiosity not only allows for this, but actually encourages it. The word curiosity comes from the Latin word curiositatem, which means desire of knowledge. Curiosity longs for the new. For this, you must let go of the old. A truly curious person gives up their perspective, at least temporarily, in order to consider a new perspective, at least temporarily. They can then compare and weigh things up, and then either return to their old perspective, adopt a new one, or combine the two. Remember, the more perspectives you have on something, the closer your overall perspective may get to the truth, which is what it's all about. You can find out more about curiosity in my book, Curiosity, the Mental Hunger of Humans. I have no special talent. I am just passionately curious. Albert Einstein. Another prerequisite for communication is listening. Listening is more than just hearing. Hearing is what your ears do. They translate sound waves into electromagnetic impulses, which the nervous system sends to the brain. In communication, listening is the willingness to understand the other person. When you understand someone, you stand in their place, metaphorically. Then you have their perspective. But unfortunately, very few people really listen. Many use the time someone else is speaking to think about what they will say next. Or even worse, many conversations are simply a battle for speaking time. On social media, not listening shows as people commenting on posts they have not read in full. They only react to the headline or part of the text. This is nothing more than a waste of time and energy, because a constructive exchange is not possible in this way. Understanding begins with words. The Greek philosopher Socrates put it like this: "The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms." When you use a term, you ought to say or write what exactly you mean by it. Only then will the other person have a chance of understanding you, and that's what it's all about. If someone uses a term without explaining it, ask, what exactly do you mean by? I illustrate the importance of linguistic precision in my articles. Feelings are not the same as emotions, and consciousness is not the same as awareness. As already mentioned, contradiction can be useful, but as the saying goes, the sound makes the music. Praising someone is easy, contradicting can be challenging. Contradiction should be clearly communicated, well justified, and related to the content, not the person. My rule is tough on the issue, gentle with people. Being tough on the subject is important so that the criticism is not watered down. Being gentle with people is important so that they will consider the criticism as the basis for a constructive conversation. In summary, good and constructive communication follows these criteria. First, modesty. Second, curiosity. Third, listening. Fourth, definitions. And fifth, tough on the issue, gentle with people. There is a simple exercise you can do to improve your communication skills. Watch others communicate. Pay attention to which of the 5 criteria they adhere to. This will sensitize you to these criteria, and your communication will automatically improve.